Roll call, please.
Steve Ruth,
Yes.
Derek Burton,
Yes.
Mark Freeman,
Yes.
Karen Winchester, yes. George Cullis.
Yes. Motion carries 5-0. Next on the agenda is road gravel contract. This is the graveling. We've done most of the we've done all of the graveling in the northwest and the west side of the township down, what's the road on the bottom?
Hauser.
Yeah, Hauser, thank you. That was the one we did in conjunction with Rose Township last year. Now we'll be moving to the other side of the township. One of the decisions was made with the raised revenue from the revenue sharing and so forth. We have $148,463 in our tri-party funds. We made the decision to go for the whole amount this year because the price of gravel keeps jumping up. And they originally had said they would lock in the number for last year. Then they came back and they said because of the price of gas, they couldn't do that. And they only upped it to cover the increase in gas price. So it still keeps the gravel price down. And we need more than we're going to get here to finish our project. So we're moving forward and just using the whole amount this year. It's $148,463, and we pay 1/3 of that.
Now, a question I have before a motion is made. Do we need to change the Charter Township of Holly on this document before a motion is made? Or does it play?
That's, for some reason, the county, they call us a charter township always.
Okay.
It's how it's keyed into their financial system. I'll call again.
Okay.
I've asked several times, but they've never changed
We've talked
it.
about this before, and they
Yeah,
just can't
they
seem
just-
to get it off the
Okay.
books.
All right. Maybe it's because of the size, because we are eligible to be one. That could be.
It's
Yeah.
for any township over 2,000
Yeah.
residents.
Yeah.
Or 10, I thought it was 10,000.
2,000.
Oh, 2. Anyway. Chair would entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the 2022 road gravel contract.
Support.
Motion by trustee Burton, support by clerk Winchester to approve the road gravel contract with Oakland County to use the tri-party funds of $148,463. Any further discussion? None appearing. Roll call.
Derek Burton.
Yes.
Steve Ruth.
Yes.
Karen Winchester, yes. Mark Freeman.
Yes.
George Cullis.
Yes. Motion carries 5-0. Number 6 is the purchase offer on 49-acre parcel. Since the time of the printing of this agenda, we received a second offer. You have that in your packet. One offer is for $400,000, and the other offer is for $409,000. I talked to Dennis Neese, our real estate agent, on this matter. He is out of town and was not able to be with us this evening. What we discussed was we can't counter one offer, or we can't counter both offers. You have to deal with one or the other. However, what we can do is call for a highest and best. Those are the terms in the real estate industry. We call for a highest and best, and that tells both of them that there's two offers. What's your best bid? We put it back in, and then we look at it at that time. We also felt that with Memorial Day coming up, if we picked the date of June 3rd, that gave them both times to look at their bid and resubmit. So the recommendation is to go for highest and best with a cutoff date of June 3rd.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Clerk Winchester with support by Trustee Burton. Is there any further discussion?
Were there any differences in the requirements from the two offers?
Not that I could see there was a little difference in the deposit. One was 15,000 and one was 5,000.
Okay. And are both of them for development use or personal use?
I believe one is, it's not a developer, what are they? They're an investor that work with developers.
Yes.
And the other one is a personal farm type use. But at this point, we have the two numbers. We had the property listed at
95.
495. So both of these offers are 20% below that. I think if we go for highest and best, we'll find out if somebody's willing to jump up now that they know there's another player.
So that means we're willing to accept either one then, either person.
Well, we make that decision later. At this point, we're just trying to get the number
Okay.
so we know what we're dealing with.
I don't have any more comments.
Okay, anyone else? None appearing? Can we just do this by all in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. The resolution that's in your packet will just carry over
Mhm.
until we get the final offers
Yeah, no action.
on the property. Like I say, that was written before we knew we had two offers.
Mhm.
They had told us we were getting a second one, but it didn't come in until yesterday, I think. Okay, that'll move us on to, well, we don't do number 7. That'll hold over, no action taken. And that'll take us to number 8, bills for payment. Trustee Burton.
Yeah, so I just was looking at that and I saw a lot of legal services. I was just wondering if there's something we need to be aware of that maybe we're not with the legal services.
No, they were actually bills that were backdated that we
Okay.
didn't receive. So there's several months in there, 3 months. We don't have anything.
And the legal fees
In-
cross over between sometimes zoning and administration,
Yes.
sometimes code enforcement.
Okay.
Yep.
So there's a lot
Nothing
of different.
unusual.
Okay.
Yeah. But we have some cases under code enforcement that are in court right now
Yes.
that
Okay.
we're running. So there's several out there.
Okay.
Yeah, which were approved by the board. To initiate action.
Right. But I'm just saying, those are in court,
Mhm.
because Amy's been going to court and those,
Yeah, I can send them to you if you want me to scan them and send them.
No, I mean, that's good
Okay.
enough for me, so.
okay, then would you like to make a motion to pay the bills for payment?
Yes, I will make a motion to pay the bills for payment.
Motion by trustee Burton, is there support? So
Support.
I'll do it.
Support?
Cullis. Motion by Burton, support by Cullis, to pay the bills for payment. Is there any further discussion? None appearing, roll call.
Steve Ruth,
Yes.
Derek Burton.
Yes.
Karen Winchester, yes. Mark Freeman.
Yes.
George Cullis.
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Okay, we'll come to our last public comment. Same rules apply the first time, name and address. You come up to a 3-minute limit. If an extension is necessary, it requires board approval. Anyone for public comment? First hand up was the gentleman straight in the back.
David Gillespie, 6359 Road.
Are we on?
Is that,
You want to pull a mic up there?
David Gillespie, can you hear me now?
Can we hear that? Is the
can you check
microphone?
and see, it was on when I put it on there, but
Hello, hello?
doesn't
I don't
sound
think
good.
so. It's dead.
Is this one working?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
You're a star.
David Gillespie, 6359 Laring Road. I just wanted to know what the progress is on the gravel pit. On the gravel pit.
It's still with the engineer.
Do you know how long this is going to take? It's been 3 months now since I brought my concerns here.
Right,
Which-
and it's usually in the May, June time.
Okay.
Just whenever they get done with it. They have to go out and take pictures and do their inspections and so forth.
Okay, okay.
I know that we,
And I did send all your information to them.
Are they aware that one of the berms are on my fence? They covered it? They are? Okay. One other thing, on these proposed agendas, even online, did you know at the end it says the next meeting is always the month before this one?
oh, it does.
This has been happening for at least the 3 months I've been on these, looking at them.
Oh,
So, okay. Good evening, everyone.
Yep, thank you.
So just for clarification, the next meeting is June, we got a date?
no.
18th? I believe it's the 18th.
It is the 15th.
Yep.
So we clarify that. Josh, are we online video? Okay, for those at home, or anybody watching this meeting at a later date, I don't know exactly when we came on. We had technical difficulty.
20 minutes.
We waited 15 minutes.
We lost about 20 minutes.
Okay, we waited 15 minutes before we started the meeting, and apparently we lost another 20 after that. So I apologize, but that's why it starts in the middle of the meeting. Anyone else for public comment? It's like, to tell the truth, I thought he was going to get up.
Sean Grugel, 120 North Corbin. I was just wondering if you can give some clarification as to where the 49-acre parcel is located at.
It's on Fish Lake Road, south of Academy,
Okay.
on the east side.
Okay.
It's
thank-
behind Riverside Gardens, back in there.
back
and it-
behind that community there.
Yeah, and it
South
comes
of it.
all the way from Fish Lake up to behind where Bars Leak is.
There you go. Okay. No, I know exactly what property is. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else for public comment? None appearing? Oh, you people that sit in the dark, I can't see you. Sorry. Pat Feeney's in the dark over here and you're in the dark. I can't see.
Right. Did we get new chairs?
Nope.
So this is newspapers from the 80s, 90s, and they're all from John Renish up there on Rood Road.
Stacy, we all know you, but if you'd enter,
15566 Falk Road, Stacy Taylor.
thank you.
So obviously there's almost 5 years of effort here, but this one folder right here is one of the most important ones in my war room. And this is on the groundwater, the recharge, the sole source aquifer. And one of the reasons why I actually took on this fight is because this can, and is likely already affecting our community's drinking water. There's a lot of health concerns. So this is how I've been doing this for 5 years. I highlight, I flag, I copy, I share. I come to these meetings time and time again, and I tell you folks, there's some serious issues here. So this week, I got a reach out from, let's see if I can do this right. I kind of put this in order, but from a lady named Lizette. And I put these backwards now. Yep, Kim Lizette. So she came into the township offices inquiring, this is technically the message that got sent to me. Kim Lizette came into the offices today inquiring about your group and who was helping you with testing. Her mom on Maple is concerned about her well, and she is right there near Falk Road. I told her I would send you her info as soon as possible. So I reached out to her, I reached out to the mom, and so I talked to her yesterday. And basically this is what's happening. One, she's flooding. Just like 6 other houses I can point out that since Holly Hills did their excavation homes are flooding. Pat Luther, this lady here, myself, Tim Perton, there's a whole bunch of us, right? And I mean, we're talking having to replace walls, carpet, PFAS foam, and this lady's right there by the Church of the Nazarene. I actually believe she was tested back in the 90s. So I told her I would be in touch with Kim Etheridge, and I would be in touch with Denise Travick Pointer. I also want to bring it to y'all's attention, because somehow we got to figure out how to do this, because this shouldn't be up to me. And so she's got concerns. So I asked her, has anybody got sick at your house? Yep, her dad died. He got prostate cancer, and it spread to all of his other organs. Their pond is twice as big as it's ever been in their backyard, and they are right there next to the Falk Road dump. This is John Renish. This one made me cry. Without John Renish's box, those documents right there wouldn't exist. And there's a lot of other documents that we wouldn't know, including the dump documents, which we shared with you guys. You didn't have them. The village didn't have a copy. The township library had theirs destroyed or lost or something. There's all kinds of stories there. And then in the end, we ended up coming with a 96 report that showed why there was 35 wells not in there, not 11. John is now diagnosed with cancer. He is now moved to an assisted living facility up by Genesis Hospital. This man deserves better. And I'm telling you what, that lady right there and I cried, as well as my neighbors. John's lived there 50 years. So this is the Rude Road dump. He told us about it. We hadn't had any documentation until we found the Herald Advisor. I went back through this. This is April 25th, 1991. The gentleman that owns its name was Robert Fornoff. He's a semi-retired, let's see what he did. ET, auto experience in all phases, auto restoration, engineering, repair, fabrication, machine shop, auto body paint, street metal fab and trim, blah, 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 blah. He had a business
Stacy,
on...
Let me stop you long enough. I make a motion to extend her public comment by 3 minutes. Is there support?
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Go ahead.
Thank you. The Rude Road dump is right next to John Renish's farm. So that means everybody that lives there, and our testing that we did, Mary Blanchard, Denise Travick Pointer, showed the PFAS are coming down that stream and that wetland. So now we've got PFAS right next to Holly Hills wastewater treatment plant and their water supply that is probably from this dump. So I reached out to Mike Wilczynski, our geologist. I go, hey, Mike, so in the recent FOIA that we did, it says that it is a leaky confined aquifer. And I looked it up. Leaky confined means it's susceptible to contamination. I says, hey, Mike, leaky confined says it's more susceptible to contamination. Is that the sand seam? Lack of continuous 7-foot clay barrier? Also this damaged well, which is in this, I'm going to hand you all a paper here in a minute. And it seems really odd that that well that was supposed to help in making sure this wasn't a problem was damaged. So I will hand you this right here. But you guys, we have a problem. Test well 10, Mike said that's where he thinks, he goes, there appears to be 2 clay layers. The one at the near the surface is discontinuous. The second one that is deeper appears to be continuous throughout the area except for where an erosional channel may exist in the clay layer near the location of the drain pipe monitoring well 10. The residential wells are probably below the second layer. Monitoring well 10, per Tim Carpenter, and I will hand you these papers here in a second, despite all supposition, is probably already communicating with the lower aquifer. It's probably already contaminated. 1994. So all these men that are getting sick with prostate and bladder cancer and things that are spreading. My neighbor has cancer. I have skin cancer. My other neighbor had their daughter died from cancer. You guys, there's a whole lot of problems in our community, and everybody's so willing to bury their head and look the other way because there's not enough money to clean it up, that we are potentially poisoning the citizens of this community. And it's going to be worse when Holly Hills expands, because right now that runoff is totally exacerbated. The Chuck Barbieri attorney, he recognized that this was going to be a problem. I asked last meeting, please get me a meeting with Chuck Barbieri. Nobody has more documentation on this than me, including the state. Oh, there's probably one more thing here that I want to share with you, but this is kind of how the developer back in 1985 out-litigated you.
Stacy, do you have a parcel ID for that dump?
Yes, well, not a parcel, it's a number, it's an address. It's 95426 Pretty sure it's 5426. Yes, 5426 Rude Road. And I'll let you keep this because I already have it. So I'm just going to hand you these other papers. There's a reason that our little group has fought so dang hard. I think I put it in here in this little laminated handout, but I have a war room. Chuck Barbier has been to my war room. George has been there. Pat Feeney's been there. Tony Engelberg's been there. You guys, there's a reason I fight so dang hard. This community deserves your very best effort. Mike Moon is making effort right now. He has reached out to the governor. He has reached out to the EPA. I handed papers to Liesl Clark's person, and supposedly they were getting into her hands, but I showed her what the EPA is saying. Kim Etheridge is downplaying this. She's saying that this is grass clippings and lawn refuse. No, it's not. There's 55-gallon drums in there currently. I have pictures from 94. I have pictures from the 80s of those drums. Right here, this is Paul Owens, her boss, that says there's rusted drums right there on the edge of that pond. He also says there's white leachate. That's coming onto my property now. That's going on Denise's property right now. I know.
Just for no.
Okay.
Just for clarification, are you still on the Root Road dump?
Huh?
Or are you still talking about the Root Road dump, or are you back on?
No, I don't think the Road Road dump is affecting me, but I do know that
I'm just asking you which dump you were referring to.
it's the seasonal pond at the north easement on the top side of the Falk Road dump.
Okay.
It would be the northeast corner, and all of that water goes into Riviera Shores. So every house in Riviera Shores potentially needs to be tested, as does everybody on Copper Trail. And Kim needs to know this. I don't know how to do this anymore to get your attention, but that man right there, and there's 2 pages, he gave 50 years of his life fighting to protect this community. Those are the records. Those are the VHS tapes. You flip it over on the other side, you'll see where those are. You guys, we have an amazing community. We have a Dickens Festival, we have a Renaissance Festival, we have great citizens, we have passionate people, and yet somehow we're still stuck here because a greedy developer from Colorado wants to make millions of dollars, and they know the problems. We will be going to the prosecuting attorney's office tomorrow per Rep. John Cherry. He said file that 919 where they did fraud by checking line no on line 19. He recommended that. There's a couple of bit of movements there, but I do believe that you'll see that Mike Moon's actually starting to really get it. And this is a side thought, and I didn't want to do it, but I am running for office. I am running for his position. I don't want that position. I don't have time for it.
You're running for Mike Mueller's position,
I
not
am.
Mike Moon. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, Mike Miller. And you know why? I have to have a voice at that table. I mean, Ruth tried for a minute back in the 80s and the 90s. There's an arsenic seam. I didn't bring that with me today, but Denise's closing papers on her house, the arsenic seam goes right through where we are all the way up. So, I get it. It's naturally occurring, but over pumping an aquifer raises the arsenic. It's already in my water. So this is happening again, and I got some other things, and my skin doctor's saying that everything that Denise Travick-Pointer said. I'm not the only person with arsenic above criteria. Ann Lear on Bush Lake is. There's PFAS foam over there on Reagan Rockwell's property. She saw Ruth at an event a couple weeks ago, and Ruth was kind of, a little taken aback. They're like, wow, what? And Reagan's like, man, it's right here in my lake, right in front of my house. How do you let your kids swim? How do you let your dogs frog? I appreciate the extra time. I really, again, ask for, if Chuck Barbier is our guy, give me a meeting. Thank you.
Anyone else for public comment? I can't see in the dark. You got your hand up? You did.
Really quick, I wasn't going to,
Denise Cantu, 15600 Falk Road. So Stacy said something about the test wells in the Falk Road dump. And when we first found out about them, there were 11. That's what they said. But the more research we did, we find out there's 35. Number 10 is a very important one. That's the one she just mentioned that I don't know all the words for it, but that's one of them that they haven't tested. And I want to know if that is, what's the reason for that? number 10, we asked that that one be tested. That's a very important one, and they haven't. I think how many have they tested out of 35 wells? 23. So they have a few to go, which I don't even know if they're going to do. But I wish that I had the option of purchasing my home when I did, of knowing we should be aware. Like right now, they're trying to sell the land between us. And Kim Etheridge, who works for Eagle, told us, do not eat the vegetables out of your garden because the soil's contaminated. So they're still trying to sell that property between us. And we asked Chuck Stoner, I think is his name, he's a real estate agent, are you telling the people that there's that toxic dump right there? No, why not? Because I don't have to. I wish someone would have told me. I should have had a choice. And is it fair if I put my house for sale and don't say anything? That I couldn't live with myself. I'm just saying, there's too many sicknesses in Holly. If you really did some research, there's a lot of autoimmune diseases. There's so much cancer. I don't think it's just I think it's because we're all drinking poison water. I'm not drinking it anymore, but we're bathing in it, and I'm brushing my teeth with it, and guess that's it. I just wanted to say something about that. Test well 10. We need to start paying attention, people. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else for public comment? I'm looking in the dark corners. There's nobody left. I think we're good. We can call the meeting at 7:44. Mics are still on. We are still hot.